Inside the NBA has been able to have a 30-year run because the authenticity of everyone who's on it, starting from Ernie.
I mean, is this the first year? This might be.
To Kenny and Chuck.
Don't mess this up.
And Shaq.
Watch it, young man, watch it.
Everybody brings their own style to the table. You can be you, he can be him, they can be them, and it all comes together. And you have a magical show like what you guys have.
I've got exceptional hair.
The way people looked at certain television shows that had a great cast, that's how I look at Inside the NBA. I'm like, man, this cast, it just worked out. Maybe it started as a show based just around basketball.
Can he take one?
But it has become something bigger than just sports.
Slam it!
They got the thing you can't buy.
Can he take two?
Bang! Now this is a real show.
I usually don't watch a lot of media, but definitely Inside the NBA is one of the shows that whenever I catch it on TV, I try to watch for like 5-10 minutes just because it's really funny. It's not just about basketball. You can see those guys out there that are having fun, they're teasing one another, and they're just being real. Charles Barkley is so unique because I think he doesn't have no filter. Like, he's going to speak the truth. He's going to speak whatever is on his mind. And that's why I think a lot of people respect him. A lot of times that he comes out with things that don't make no sense, but at the end of the day, you respect the guy that speaks the truth to you, has no filter, and at the end of the day, he has fun with it also.
It's got to be the chemistry between the guys. I don't think there's a show on television that has this kind of chemistry. Having been on the show and having talked to all the guys, what you see on TV is what's really happening. That makes it so much more authentic. When you go behind the scenes, you realize that everybody is like very relaxed, right? The guys are watching like 72 screens in the back. There's food. It's just very, very homey back there. And to have someone like Charles Barkley say, "You want me to get you something to drink?" It's almost surreal. It's like, no, legend, what do you want? What do you want? Let me get something for you. What makes Charles unique is that he speaks his mind. Right or wrong, he's going to speak his mind. Typically, he's right. And when he makes a pick, you know, he can be wrong about his pick. You know, he's not always right about his pick, but he makes it with conviction, and you got to give him that.
Most people look forward to the post-game show as much as actually watching the game. And I think for me, as a fan of basketball, even, you know, when I'm out on the court playing and I'm sitting down on the couch watching, you look forward to the jokes and the back and forth, races to the big screen with Kenny and all that. It just adds an element of entertainment. And then, you know, the discussions about what's going on in the league and all that type of stuff, they do a great job.
Shaq calls you his favorite player. He says you are exempt from Shaq and a Fool.
Very honored because I'm not immune to having Shaq and a Fool moments on the court. We all have our moments out there, and I appreciate him having my back and not putting me on his favorite show because we got that chemistry. Appreciate it.
It's all about the personalities. I mean, they have races, they talk about food, they talk about haircuts, they talk about clothes. Every now and then they mention basketball, but it's personalities. It's great. I mean, Charles, Kenny, of course, Shaq, Ernie. Ernie carries the show. Ernie kind of controls it. He's kind of the adult in the room, and all the kids like get mad and scream and yuck it up and have fun and tell stories. Just like hanging out with the guys, and they put cameras on it. They've become synonymous with the NBA and really a big part of the heartbeat of the NBA.
That's why it's the best on TV inside the NBA, because we can poke fun at each other, we can clown each other, we can have a good time with the banner back and forth. But at the end of the day, it's all for the fans. It's all for the audience. And I think that's why the ratings are so high. They just keep getting better and better every single year. So the best on TV is Charles Barkley, bar none. There's nobody on TV in sports better than Charles Barkley.
It's nice to see four dudes having a good time with each other, but they're basically talking about the games that they're watching. Everything else is kind of like just icing on the cake. The fact that they get along, the fact that they want to wrestle with each other or fake fight or fake beef, or even if it's real beef, you know what I mean? As long as nobody gets hurt, it makes for great television, let alone one of the top 50 players in history, and they have two of them on that show talking about basketball. I think it's just an amazing lineup, and the fact that they get along, whether it's real or not, I mean, it just comes across as really, really enjoyable to watch. It's lightning in a bottle, you know what I'm saying?
They represent the culture. They're a part of the culture.
You never knew that we would get that from a show that's covering basketball.
This is a great country because we can all have our point of view.
And it's about four guys that love each other.
Ernie Johnson does a wonderful job of sort of landing planes here. And he's the funniest guy on the show. But the beauty is he doesn't have an ego that has to get out in front of that. He's so subtle and brilliant at doing that. And the hardest thing that we do as host is to stay the hell out of the way, but still have control. And Ernie does that. So you know what you have with Charles and Kenny. Now you bring in Shaq. Now I got to weave him into this and make him feel comfortable. And to be able to do that, they make it look easy. That's why it's one of the greatest shows, sports shows of all time. It's not easy, but they make it look easy. Good night, everybody. Oh, sorry.